Your brain is a prediction machine. A neuroscientist at the University College London built an entire theory of the mind around one fact. Every second you're alive, you're guessing what will happen next. So, what happens on the day nothing is predictable anymore? I know exactly what happens. I wrote a book from inside of it. Welcome back. This is Dr. Lisa, science-backed, soul-supported, the Nez Zen community. We're on day one of When the Ground Gives Way. And today we're talking about what happens when your life falls apart and why your brain scrambles before anything else does. Let me tell you about the day the pattern breaks, not the dramatic version, the ordinary one. You wake up and the structure your whole life was built on is simply gone. Nothing about the room looks different, but the thing underneath is missing. You can feel the absence in your body before you can name it. And here's what's actually happening in your head when that occurs. And it's not what you've been told. Carl Friston at University College London spent his career on one idea, and it changed how neuroscience thinks about the brain. Your brain is not primarily a reaction machine. It is a prediction machine. Every second of every day, beneath anything you would call thinking, it's running a model of what's about to happen. The next sound, the next step, the next face at the door, the shape of next Tuesday, and then it checks reality against that model. When the guess matches, you feel calm. You don't even notice you feel. That is what calm is. It's a good prediction, quietly confirmed 1,000 times an hour. And when the model breaks, when reality stops matching what your brain expected, the system floods with what Friston calls prediction error. Your brain's entire job becomes fixing the model immediately, continuously. And it won't let you sleep because sleeping means leaving the broken model. And I can so attest to this. That is the thing you've been calling falling apart. And it's not a character flaw. It's a prediction engine running at full power with nothing to lock into. I wrote about this years before I ever read a word of Friston. The first poem in Grounded in Chaos is called Chaos, and it goes like this. Random life events. Predictable daily patterns are thrown out the window. Nothing's predictable. All is different and random, leading to profound confusion. Disordered thinking. Now, I was not being poetic. I was really being literal. That's the clinical description of what was happening inside my head, written by a pharmacist who was far too into it to recognize that I was documenting my own prediction error in verse. Now, here's the part I want you to hold on to, because it's the reason the book is called Grounded in Chaos and not something softer. Chaos theory, the actual maths, not a figure of speech, says that inside what looks like total randomness, there are underlying patterns, feedback loops, repetition, self-similarity, self-organization. The randomness is only random from where you happen to be standing. There is structure in there. You can't see it yet because you're inside of it. It's like reading the label of the bottle while standing inside of it. That's not a comforting metaphor. That's the mechanism. Your life did not become meaningless when the pattern broke. It just became unreadable. Those are entirely different problems, and only one of them is permanent. So why does everyone reach for control? Because control is exactly what a prediction machine wants. Control is the shortest imaginable route back to a model that matches. So you grip, you plan, you make lists at 2 a.m, and you try to rebuild that old pattern with your bare hands, and every attempt fails. Every failure lands as more evidence that you're the problem. You are not the problem. The strategy's the problem. And that's tomorrow's video. Today, I want something much smaller from you and a little bit harder. So today's practice, finish one sentence out loud. And here's the sentence. The pattern that broke was, and then fill in the blank. Again, the pattern that broke was, not what went wrong, not whose fault it was. The pattern, the predictable thing in your days that your days were built around, and it's not there anymore. Say it to the room, to the dog, to the steering wheel. You're not fixing anything today. You're giving a nameless flood one accurate name, which is the first thing that makes it possible to stand in. Well, that's day one. If your life stopped being predictable this year, if you read that description and felt something in your chest go quiet, drop a hello in the comments. I want to see how many of us are standing in that room. If this gave you one easier breath, help me pass it on. Like, subscribe, tap the bell, and save it to a playlist. And drop a comment. I read every single comment. Every share brings one more person into the Nezzen community. And that's how we build this, one steadier day at a time. Tomorrow, we go after the strategy that is quietly making all of it worse. Science-backed, soul-supported. This is the Nezzen community. I'm Dr. Lisa.